that white boy can dance a cumbia, and that's the first time I think that's how he got me.
I was gonna say he danced his way into the bedroom.
Ah, damn! Hell yeah, he did.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the DP Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Pinto, and today my guest is Nina, and we're actually talking about the forest fires that engulfed California just a month ago, and how certain cities are still suffering from the debris and ash. We go into COVID and how it's been affecting her life and her job working at UPS. We talk about her recovery from drug addiction, being a single mother, and all that, and much, much more. But I really love this conversation I had with Nina, and I hope you guys do too. So without further ado, let's start the show. Hello and welcome to another episode of the DP Podcast. Joining me today is a good friend of mine that I actually met when I was working at my dad's restaurant. She ended up becoming a regular, and we ended up becoming good friends. And she's captured me as a very interesting and genuine person. So I wanted to have her on the podcast. So without further ado, let me introduce Nina.
Hello, everybody. Here I am.
What's good, Nina?
Chilling outside. It's a nice, beautiful day.
Yeah, we're actually chilling outside of her place. I won't disclose the location in case you don't want people to know.
Oh, well, it's okay.
It's Bakersfield. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
We're in Bakersfield outside, and the weather's nice for once here, which is surprising.
Yeah, no smoke, because, man, it was pretty bad here a couple months ago.
Because of the fires, yeah.
Yeah, that was real bad. Like, you could literally, wipe your car, and the ash would just nothing but dust all over your...
Jesus. I heard it was really bad in Lancaster, too.
Yeah, well, for here, especially because, we got to wear the mask, it was hard to breathe with the mask, from work and stuff. So it was, it wasn't fun. And then just inhaling, it felt like, it really felt like we were, congested, kind of.
Okay.
Or, you could feel, just the smoke in your throat. It just really felt weird.
Because I was in LA when that happened, and I was actually in Anaheim and saw the fires. Like, half the sky was red and the other half was blue. And I didn't get... I saw it raining ash in Anaheim when I was there.
Oh my gosh.
Raining ash. But I never found it difficult to breathe or anything like that.
Yeah, well...
compared to here.
So when I got back from Cancun, I luckily had nobody sitting next to me because,
Just to add a little reference, because you actually went to Cancun during the pandemic. Like, what month? When did you go exactly?
In September.
September. So it was still like, hey, we got COVID, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it was pretty... I was scared, not going to lie, because, you hear about Mexico, they steal people and all that.
You weren't scared of COVID. You were scared of Mexico.
Yes, I was scared. I was like, no, I don't think I want to go because I don't want something to happen to me,
Right. But
I felt so safe there. Where I was at, the hotel that Julie had, it was so safe. And then everything there, they sanitize everywhere. They literally had somebody pumping sanitizer in your hand.
Yeah.
And
in China, they probably have a robot for that, but in Mexico, now we do it old school.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm gonna
abuelita over there.
And
wiping down the rails.
Dude,
we need more lemon pledge.
Yeah, no. All you gotta do is get the vapor rub. I'm telling you, Vicks vapor rub, and you're good.
So that's all you had. You're like, I just have my Vicks in the even the pharmacy. All they had was Vicks.
The thing is, I'm actually allergic to sanitizer.
Oh.
So I can't use most soaps have antibacterial soap. I'm allergic to that.
Whoa.
My hands will break out into it's like eczema. And it just does not stop itching.
Gets very dry and blistery.
Bad.
I didn't know that. We were actually just talking... Well, before the podcast started, we were actually talking about your eczema and stuff and how Vapor Rub helps with that.
I don't understand how Vapor Rub works for that.
It's secured COVID. Just nobody wants to let anybody know. It's a dirty little secret Mexicans got.
Yeah, a little bit of 7-Up, a little bit of Vicks Vaporub.
And yellow Gatorade.
Yep.
That's all you need.
That's it.
The Trinity, the Holy Trinity.
Yeah, that's it. For every cold, COVID, SARS, all that stuff. Don't worry. Vicks and some...
So back to your story though about Cancun. What were you wanting to say about that? Because obviously I want to hear about the smoke. Yeah.
Okay, so luckily I had no one sitting next to me, and obviously I can look out and see. I am gonna have to show you that video though. Anyways, as soon as we crossed over the Gulf at Texas, literally, I want to say maybe midway through Texas, all you saw was smoke.
Shit.
It got thicker as we got closer to California. When we did get to LA and you could see downtown LA, it looked like what's that movie? Oh man, I can't think of it. Shoot.
Who's in it or what is it about?
It's I want to say it was like a war movie. I'm not sure. Anyways, it just looked like
a battle just happened.
Yes, Battle of LA.
Oh, Battle of LA. Oh,
yeah.
That's an old movie. That's like 2012 or something.
Yeah, it looked like that. And I was like, what the heck, man? You can't even see nothing. And then my sister and my daughter came to pick me up from LAX, and it was unbelievable. It was scary. Nobody was out.
Mm-hmm.
The airport, I've never been in and out of that airport in my entire life. In LAX, you know how you're there for hours.
Yeah.
Well,
just through baggage claim and all that bullshit. Yeah.
It was just like you go in and out. And there was no like standing around. Nobody was. It looked like, oh man, it just looked like it was like a lost city or something. LA looked really depressing.
Mm-hmm. During those fires, I remember like it was pretty relaxed, at least because I was working during those times, and I don't remember really anything different. Like in the sense of the energy I was feeling. But then again, like everybody's locked up, they're doing their thing because of COVID. So to me, it just seemed like another day. Besides the fact that the sky was weird. When I was in Anaheim, that was the worst that I saw it because the sky was literally red.
Yeah,
and like half of the sky was red, like 180.
Yeah,
and then the other 180 was just blue, like nothing was going on. And we woke. I actually, this was like when I first met my current girlfriend, and we wake up in the morning and we're just talking. And all of a sudden, she notices that ash falls on me, and I'm like, "What?" And then I'm like, "Oh shit, it is ash."
Wow.
But
yeah, it was. We were trying to find somewhere to eat because I had just gotten off the plane and I hadn't eaten that day because it was like literally like go from Cancun to here, and it's like a 4.5 hour flight. So it was like I didn't really have a chance to eat anything. There was nothing open. There was nothing open. It seemed like everywhere we looked, everything was closed.
Right.
On the way back, to Bakersfield. So we literally waited till we got to like Castaic or something like that to actually eat.
Mm-hmm. But how long did it take to even clear up here?
Oh man, I think I want to say it was recent. Like we had this. Yeah, it felt like it was just stuck here in the valley.
That makes sense because when I came last week for Thanksgiving, it was extra smoggy when you go over the Grapevine.
Right? Yeah. No, it literally. We had a windstorm. Didn't LA have the Santa Ana winds like not too long ago?
Yeah, I think so.
A couple of days ago.
Yeah.
That's
because
it
was hitting heavy.
That's the clearest I've seen it since.
Because it pushed it all out.
Well, yeah. And then what? There's more fires, right, down there?
Yeah, there's more fires again. In fact, I think Scout, who edits the podcast and has been on the podcast, his dad is actually working out there because he works like for electricians, or not electricians. Sorry, he puts up like putting up power poles or something.
Okay.
So he has to go and fix everything that got destroyed from the fires, and so he's been there for like the last couple of months, like constant overtime. Yeah, just overtime. He hasn't seen his dad in months because he's just been out there working.
See, that's what it's been like for us. Working for your, UPS.
Yeah, and for those listening, Nina works for UPS. That is her current job, and you've been doing that for how long now?
I've been with the company for 7 years. I've been a driver for a little over 5 years. This is my 8th peak, and by far the most weirdest year for me.
For everybody.
Well, I mean, just the thought of every day it felt like Christmas this whole entire year.
Oh, so you mean the grind has been just December, like Christmas season?
Yeah, we started. Remember the toilet paper fiasco?
Yeah.
Ever since the toilet paper fiasco happened, it was just nuts. I can't even explain how. I mean, there's really a lot of. Man, there's a lot of work when it comes to, delivering packages, but when you see it every day for a whole year, it's overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's overwhelming. But like I'm only used to it. Only like 2 months out of the year that we're really grinding hard. But we're talking like 9 months of grinding hard.
Well, I remember you telling me back in, I don't know, like April, that you were delivering a bunch of workout equipment. You were just like all kinds of things you'd never expect, like huge packages, because people were just like, well, I'm staying at home, so I need to have all this stuff.
That stimulus check, people were buying just the like Rogue. I don't know if you know the actual brand Rogue.
Rogue?
No.
It's
like a workout, like a gym set.
Okay.
I mean, people were ordering those, treadmills, bikes.
And you have to haul this all yourself.
Alone. 150 pounds.
You see what you make people do when you order on Amazon? People suffer. But it's okay. You get paid for it.
Yeah, I get paid for it. You know what, though? The best part of it is that I've never really liked working in offices at all.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with women. Because women are bitches. Sorry. When you work with a bunch of them, when you work with a bunch of women, it seems like there's more chisme, gossip, whatever, than anything else. But working in a male-dominant job is just as bad as working with women.
Yeah, that's what you learned?
It's just as bad, like if not worse.
How so? What's different? What's the same?
Well, all what can Brown do for you, all that bullshit. Like you hear it. I have heard it so many times. But like to be around the guys that women like throw themselves at these guys because they, I don't know, maybe it's the uniform, maybe it's the money. I don't know, but women like throw themselves at the drivers.
Can this is something I was actually thinking about on the drive over here to Bakersfield was toxic masculinity, right?
Oh, here we go.
But so here's something that's interesting because you're saying this, but just to kind of backtrack is I've noticed there's a lot more women that have toxic masculinity than men who are being told to cry.
Oh, I'm telling you,
but just to add to that, it's just so I'm seeing I've noticed there's more women being toxic than men, and hey, I'm not saying there's
right here. I sabotage myself.
Wait 1 second though. But so what I'm saying is the reason why I think those men may be getting a lot more action than other people is because of the fact that they're just more masculine than most men that are being taught today.
There you go. See, I told you he was gonna walk by.
Oh yeah. Well,
Stefan's in the podcast all of a sudden.
Yeah, her son. It's all good. I ain't tripping. But what are your thoughts on that? Because you're saying, oh, you were toxic.
Watch out, Max might start barking right now. So.
Oh, we got a dog. Don't trip.
Okay. I'm sorry. Ask the question again.
What do you think about if women are more toxic, more in the vein of toxic masculinity than men are today? Look, and just, what your experiences in the workplace or your views on that?
I think we tend to like, I don't know, I think women are drawn to the, like, how they're drawn to bad boys.
Yeah.
I think women, I don't know, for myself, okay, I can only talk about myself. I can't really talk about anybody else but myself when I say these things, but it's almost like appealing to have it. It's like maybe like a rush. I don't know. Yeah. Something.
I think that it goes deep into the human psyche when it comes to that. Because when you look at, for example, novels like sex novels made for women, what's it always about? A vampire, a werewolf, a rich businessman. It's people who have power, who are an animal, and women gravitate towards that because what do they want to do to the animal?
Oh man,
they want to tame it.
They want to
tame it, and
they want it so bad.
Yeah,
they want it, but it's like,
but why do they fight it so much?
Why do they fight it?
Yeah, they're like, no, I don't want men seeing me. I don't want this. But then in bed, they're like, spit in my mouth. I'm like, that's a felony if this wasn't in bed,
I don't know whose mouth you've been spitting in.
Hey, I've been with some crazy girls or girls that want to be choked.
Oh man, that's
like 99% of the women I've been with are like, choke me.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Somebody did that to me recently, and I thought I was gonna die
because
it was hard. Aggressive, and you know the person. But yeah, I won't say any names, but you know the person. I know. And very, very aggressive. Like I was like, no, I'm don't do that to me. That's something I do not appreciate. So I'm just kind of like, no. I've learned now, since
you're a normal woman. You're what I expect.
No, but I wasn't normal up until, when I started my therapy. I started therapy with, I want to say right before I met you, I think. I started to talk to a therapist.
I think you were telling me about that when we first met.
Yeah, and you're like, does your therapist know that I'm more of your therapist than anything else?
Yeah, because you would come and drink, so you're an open book. You got to get drunk with your therapist.
I know. I'm telling you, you've seen me probably. Yeah, it's definitely. What is it? What do they say when you drink? Drunk mouth speaks a sober mind.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's me, 100%. Like when all the, I.
And for the people listening, she already has a lot of attitude, so get a little drink in her, and she goes full force.
Yeah, but this girl...
We're actually drinking tequila right now.
Yes, we are drinking Rancho Escondido from Cancun.
Authentic.
Yep, it's not none of that, U.S. Jose Cuervo crap.
Yeah, that Susquehanna bullshit.
Oh, nasty, gross. And let me tell you, it's smooth.
Very smooth.
Yeah, but yeah,
almost dangerously smooth.
But seriously, I think it wasn't something that happened overnight, and I'm still fighting it. I'm still fighting myself to like be open to the possibility that maybe I did find somebody good this time. Maybe
because you're currently with someone.
Yes.
That you met that you think it may be different.
Yeah. No, he is different.
Oh, see, that's that kind of attitude. Okay.
He is different. He cares about me. He wants me to be happy, and I'm such a shithead when it comes to relationships that I am so used to crap that when somebody good comes along, I don't even see it.
Yeah, but we were talking about this at the restaurant because this man he's been over to your house to like fix things or just be a handyman, be as helpful or useful as possible, but it's very difficult for you to accept that kindness. And it's funny because my current girlfriend, she is the same way, because I'm like, I always open the door for her for the car.
Chivalry.
Yeah,
it's not dead. It's just people. I think women aren't used to. I've done it too. Like I've been in the past relationships that I've had. I was with an older man, 15 years older than me, and he was a pure gentleman. Opened my door. One time I even like grabbed the door before he could close it, and he goes, I could do that for you. And I was like, oh, I'm just not used to it.
Mm-hmm. Now, why is that? Because I don't know about your experiences, but with my girl, or I have some idea of your experiences.
Yeah.
But with my current girlfriend, in her past, she's had a lot of bad boyfriends or people who take advantage or don't really care, or for example, what is it? I bought her food, and she's like, oh, that's weird. Or like she cooked for me. It's like, I've never cooked for anyone. I was like, what the hell? And I cooked for her, It's like, I don't see why I wouldn't do something for you. It's like, I'm going to do everything I can. And this person's just like, I've never cooked or done anything because the person I was with never did anything for me.
Yes. It's crazy because I've met, in the beginning when I was younger, I would say I'm the same way like your girlfriend. I'm not used to anybody doing these things for us. Like I'm not used to a guy opening a door. I'm not used to a guy fixing a tire or something. I don't know, whatever the case may be. It's always.
Is it because you've been on your own so long? Because for the people listening, I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna disclose your age, but you have 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 kids, and you've been a single mother for how many years?
Stevan is 25, and I left his dad when I was pregnant with Anthony when he was 3.5.
Okay.
So 20
plus years.
22 plus years.
So being that long, it obviously affects your psyche in a certain, possibly a negative way, a good way in the sense that it makes you strong, but in a bad way in the sense that you lose a lack of trust in people because you've already been fucked so many times.
Oh my gosh, you don't even. The stories of just raising 3 kids on your own was it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of times where I thought I was gonna lose my mind, and not meaning like mental health. Kind of, there was a lot of that going on, and
like suicidal thoughts, or
oh man, no, it was just the drugs. Like I was doing so much meth that I just wanted to numb everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd hide.
Were you a functioning drug addict?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, I could see you being that way, but
I worked consistently when I was under the influence, and when I finally like snapped out of it, it was an eye opener. And then I was actually talking to somebody about this yesterday about how the rush, what you're chasing. Actually, oh yeah, you know what? I was at my hairdresser. Her daughter had the same issues as me.
Okay.
And her daughter, she's a nurse now. She changed her life like completely. But her ex-boyfriend or baby daddy, whatever, he's still lost in that shit, like really bad.
Well, it seems. Sorry to interrupt, but correct me if I'm wrong. It seems like when you're in that a drug addict, doesn't matter the drug. It seems like. Comparing it to COVID, it almost seems like people are also a bit coming off of a drug, which is COVID. But we'll get into what I mean by that later. But it takes a second for people to just accept it, one, and then they have to get rid of their old friends, get rid of your old lifestyle, and just starting a brand new life.
Right. Well, coming off that was really rough. Not gonna lie, I slept. Because, when you're chasing, when you're getting high, that euphoria, you know how they say it's the orgasm and all that stuff, that you're that potential, the dopamine in your brain.
I've never done any hard drugs like crystal or cocaine, but I mean, would you describe that effect at all from cannabis? Because I've smoked weed.
No, you know what?
I'm like, I don't think we don't do that.
No, weed is like, you know what? I like it to go to sleep. I really do.
But I mean, you don't get that same effect.
No.
That's what I would. I'm like, I don't think I could ever feel that.
The rush, because I've never really got addicted to coke, and I know a lot of people that have been addicted to that. I actually had an ex-boyfriend. I did my stuff, and he did his stuff, and we looked at each other like, "Ew, your stuff is nasty." It was funny, but I seen him like fiend so hard for just like a line. And then I'm sure, I've seen myself like fiend, for a hit of, because I used to smoke it.
Yeah.
And it was just, it's addicting. It's addicting. Just like sex, it's addicting. It's just like you're chasing
that feeling.
Yeah, that feeling. And it's like, you can't find it. Like once you had it the first time and you get it hooked, you're constantly looking for it. You're looking for that rush. And I've never experienced, anything else other than sex that,
that triggers that.
Yeah. Because sex is, one thing, but to chase the dragon that way it's crazy because people really do, they're addicted to that.
Yeah. I mean, I've been around drug addicts or alcoholics. I've worked with alcoholics, and I've seen what it's like when they're
profession, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as a musician, you're constantly seeing it and being around it, And
what do you think about them? Like when I'm
not going to work with them in the future.
I see them now. No, you're right. I see people now like tweakers. I'll be like, oh man, she's a tweaker, whatever. You see them. It's sad, but at the same time, you have a choice. And
I agree.
Whether you believe in God or not, God gave you the choice to smoke, to drink.
But it is hard. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I'm assuming it's hard to stop and take that initiative to quit when you have something that's the drug basically influencing your mind to the extent that your body's literally craving it.
Yeah, well,
mind over body, I guess.
Yeah. So back in I want to say it was the holidays in 2007. I was doing probably like an 8-ball within like a couple days. By myself, because that's how the habit was, it was getting.
I've seen people snort 8 balls by themselves.
Yeah,
I mean, not just like 3 people and just it's gone.
Yeah, and fiend for it. need another rush. They need another rush.
Well, that's the thing about the like Coke is the high doesn't last long, so you got to keep going.
Right. And I think when my brother had gotten sober in 2007, and I seen his life change. He got a car, he got a place, he got his fiance, at the time that was his girlfriend, and he had this nice lifestyle, and I was like, I want that. Being under the influence, I couldn't stop. And I was like, I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to not fiend for this no more. I don't know how to not be addicted to this. I don't know how. So then I remember two things. I remember when I finally decided to say no more. The first one was I looked at myself for the first time in the mirror, taking a hit.
And you said, I don't like what I see.
It was like I didn't recognize myself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't recognize myself. And I remember just putting the pipe down, the lighter down, and looking up. And I'm like, my mom's passed away. She's been gone since 99.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Mom, if you're up there, you need to tell God to put me at the front of the line right now because I don't know what to do anymore. I'm going to give it to you because if you don't help me, I don't know where I'm going to end up. Well, I went to work a couple of days later, and he was a manager at the time. He told me he was sobered up too. He goes, "You're gonna sell your daughter to drugs, eventually."
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "I'm pretty sure you have already." And I mean, I've done stuff that I'm not proud of, but nah, no one's gonna touch my daughter. I'll kill somebody before they touch.
And luckily, you had that rock too to help put you there.
Yeah.
And that self-realization.
And let me tell you, it was not easy. It was hard in the beginning.
The withdrawal, yeah.
Yeah, the withdrawal wasn't the worst part. It was like, why am I doing it? Why am I chasing it? What am I doing wrong? What's going on?
And therapy helps with that,
Yeah.
And you know what? I noticed like a lot of people that were addicts need that therapy to even realize why they started to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a lot. It was just life. Being a single mom, failed marriage, husband cheated, in my face, cheated like with another girl, to me, there was a lot of...
You needed something to cover that wound.
Dude, it was just so much hurt. And that's what it was. It was hurt. That's all it was. And I didn't know how to, control it. But, you can't control a controlled substance.
But see, I think one of the key things out of that whole story, besides your daughter, which is obviously one of the key things, but it's the fact that you looked in the mirror and you said, this isn't who I want to be anymore. And kind of to put this on a lighter note, there's a comedian, Tom Segura, that has a joke. He lost a lot of weight. He's like, people keep asking him to coach him to lose weight, to how to lose weight. And he's like, look, if you want to lose weight, look in the mirror. If you hate what you see, then you're ready. If you don't hate yourself yet, then you're not ready.
Exactly. I struggle still to this day with, body image.
Mm-hmm.
And, I keep telling myself, I want to try to do that tummy tuck or whatever. But it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to do something that, I work flipping hard. Those stupid Rogue machines, like, I work too dang hard to, just throw away $16,000 for a tummy tuck.
Yeah, and I mean, what's it really going to get? You know what I mean?
And that was one thing in Cancun that I noticed too. Every girl there had the smallest waist with the hugest butt.
I mean, that's just Latina culture.
With the chicken legs.
Oh, that's some fake ass then.
Yes.
God dang it.
Everybody.
That's disgusting.
You obviously know what I look like, of course, And,
yeah, you're in front of me.
Yeah, you know what I look like. And I have been for so many years struggling with my body image, how big
so
butts.
Many women.
Big butts were not in when I was younger.
Not till Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah, what is it, Belleville DeVoe? Don't trust a big butt and a smile right here.
Yeah.
I was walking that. That's how I felt like, yeah, you don't trust us. Like we're bad,
Mm-hmm.
We're all bad. But
all of his songs are, poison. Every song's about this girl's evil.
Yeah. But now look at this new image of girls that are out right now.
Oh, like, I mean, have you seen Cardi B's WAP? You know, wet ass pussy. You know, and every girl's got so much ass, titty. Like,
I've struggled so long. When I was younger, I used to wear long T-shirts so I could cover my butt because people called me fat.
because you had a big butt.
Yes, they
But
called
it's just
me
naturally
fat.
what you have.
It's what God gave me.
Yeah.
What everybody's wanting now, I've had since I was 11 years old.
Mm-hmm. I have a friend that was actually on the podcast, and we unfortunately didn't get to talk about this because the podcast was already too long.
Mm-hmm.
But something that she struggled with was body image. Because she's a singer.
Yes.
So that, you know, you got to fit a certain in
Is
her.
that the
her
one
body
from
type.
Canada?
Yes, you know who she is.
Yeah, I believe it or not, I do listen to your podcast.
Oh shit!
When I'm at work,
hopefully you liked it with her. She's cool.
I did like her. I just don't, I want to follow, but at the same time, like I don't really have a chance to. You're gonna have to send me her link.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
But actually, she struggled a lot with body image, and actually today I saw on her Instagram she posted this picture or this video that was like a girl that was like wearing a jeans up like above her waist, and it was supposed to be a crop top. She's like, oh, I can wear a crop top too. And I saw her, and I'm like, she's not that fat, you know? Like, I don't think it's like I've never been someone who sees a girl and it's like, you want to wear a crop top, wear it. I mean, if you're like Liso and you want to wear a crop top, I'm like, you are more than welcome to wear one.
Right.
But don't be mad if I don't approve or might make fun of you for it.
Well, yeah, that's,
you gotta face the consequences too.
Yeah.
And people don't want to face the consequences. Like they just want everything to be accepted. I'm like, hey, you have the right. Like Johnny Depp, he's 57 and he still wears earrings and jewelry, and I'm like, you have the right to dress how you want.
Yeah.
But I also have the right to make fun of you for it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and then that's
because if he was,
well, and then there's the body image thing, like, and you don't want to be mean, but like you said, you got to be able to take constructive criticism.
Amen.
That's what it is, and a lot of people don't want that because you know what? When it comes down to it, even me, for a while I was struggling with that last relationship that I was in. Mm-hmm. Even though we weren't in a relationship, but we were in a relationship because of the way
that just shows no offense to the guy because I know him, but I mean that shows the level of maturity for his age because he's in his 30s and he's treating the relationship like he's in high school. Oh,
you know what? That guy, to me, it went by really fast and we had a good time. Don't get me wrong, at the time.
Like a line of Coke.
That's his favorite thing to do. The thing is he lied about it. Like to my face. Like he told me, he's like, oh yeah, I've been sober since, I think his mom passed away, I think like in 2016.
Yeah, something like that.
And he went to Phoenix, he came back, he sobered up. And I'm honest about my story. I sobered up in 2008, and I backslid twice. And the one time that I would say that I backslid, it was for a month. And an ex-boyfriend of mine asked me out. And I said, I can't hide this from him. I'm going to have to stop. And that was the last time I ever did drugs. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll smoke pot here and there to sleep. But that's about it. But this guy blatantly oh, we're like the same thing. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I've been sober since... want to say he said 2017 or something, a couple of years. He's like, how long you been? I was like 10 plus years, 2008. And he's like, yeah, we're like the same thing. And then
that's a big difference in years,
right? But we had our little falling out, whatever, and he went on, I went on to different things, and well, come to find out he was doing coke the whole time.
Yeah, in fact, one of the times that I went out with him, he was pretty drunk and he was asking me where to get some. And I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I know he would go to that place where we met. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I know what place you're talking about.
Yeah. And apparently a lot of the people there are,
yeah,
hook it up, I guess. Hookups there. I don't know.
It's ridiculous because, I mean, Bakersfield's known for being one of the biggest curators of crystal meth. To me, I'm not really surprised when people here are doing so many drugs. Because what else is there to do in this city besides drink and do drugs? That's why it's one of the drunkest, highest cities.
My favorite thing, and you've seen me, My drug to me, I think, would be dancing.
Oh yeah, you go hard.
I absolutely, remember. Oh man, I used to
Trust me, I
love.
remember. I know. I got memories.
I remember dancing even with him. That white boy can dance a cumbia.
You're right.
I did not.
You're not wrong.
That white boy can dance a cumbia, and that's the first time I think that's how he got me.
I was gonna say he danced his way into the bedroom.
Oh damn! Hell yeah, he did. Yeah, but
He taught you a couple moves.
But you got to remember, he was under the influence, so that wasn't him himself.
Yeah.
He never was himself that whole time.
Yeah.
He had to be under the influence to be with
let
me.
Go and be someone that was approachable for you.
Yeah, but at the same time, I wasn't myself either because we were drinking.
Yeah, you guys were always drunk.
Yeah, we were. That was like I think when I got back from Ireland.
And I know how drunk you were because I was the one pouring the drinks.
Oh man!
I was like,
shit!
Let me put like 1 shot, 2 shot, 3.
Yeah.
I felt like count.
My Kettle One, man. Kettle One, water and a lemon, baby. That's it. That's it, man. When I got back from Ireland, I found these two. I found some shirts. You know how I brought some souvenirs back from Ireland, and I found some shirts, and there were it was an Ireland drinking team, and I got some from me and him to match. And I was like, dude, you're like my drinking partner. Like that's what he was.
Yeah.
Like we tag team, we go get Jameson and we drink his drink.
I think most people, or maybe not most people, not everybody, but I know a lot of people who have lived interesting lives, whether it's you or other people, myself or other people. I noticed that there's always that relationship that you have where it's like basically you guys are just best friends. Mm-hmm. And it's like you got to really look at this relationship as a temporary thing because you have to look at the logistics of it. All you're doing is having fun. You're not really building anything.
Nothing.
It's just a fun time. It's basically like a vacation, but with a sex partner.
Yeah, you know what? One of my friends told me this is a long time ago when my last real exclusive relationship, so to speak, that was about 4 years ago. And when I first got into it, I told her, I'm afraid to even go past that. I don't want to be in a relationship because it's going to end. Mm-hmm. She goes, but yeah, everything is temporary. Nothing is forever. Your life is temporary.
All things must pass.
Yeah.
Like everything. The Beatles said.
Yeah. And it was something that I never really thought about. And I was like, I have been going through this whole relationship thing for years now. And I never wanted to really get in a relationship with the
last one.
Yeah. With him. Right? Because I didn't want it to end. I wanted it to keep going.
Yeah, because you think if you complicate things, it's going to mutter what you already have or muddy the waters.
Yes, because that's what happens. I think that's what most girls.
But you know what? Here's something I've been doing with my last couple of relationships, and it kind of makes a big difference. Is just when a guy is just straightforward with the girl, hey, what do you want out of this? Do you just want to fuck? Or do you want to build something? Because then the girl's like, oh shit, okay, let me make a choice. And then from there you can be like, okay, we're trying to build. And then if the relationship goes left or right, then you can be like, well, we decided on these types of things. She's not holding up her end of the deal.
That's one thing about that relationship is that we both went in. We had just gotten out of relationships a couple of months before, we met. And it was mutually discussed that we were just going to hang out. And if it went anywhere, it went anywhere. But not really looking for a serious relationship.
And I think another thing that's good, and I learned this from my boy Josh. Shout out to Joshua McClanahan was good, bro. But he said it because he recently got married. He did it within 3 months. But this girl that he'd done it before, but this one that he met, he had known for a while. But one thing that he said that I was like, that makes a lot of sense, and it helped in my current relationship was you got to set your boundaries early, in the sense of your roles.
Okay.
For example, with I got mad at my current girlfriend because I was like, hey, I'm opening the doors. I'm being chivalrous. I'm taking care of you in the bedroom.
Hey,
I'm cooking for you. You're staying at my place.
Are you making weenies and eggs the next morning?
No
bologna and fried bologna.
Nah, I just give her some eggs.
Oh,
with some sauce on them.
Egg whites.
Egg whites, yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. with a little Tabasco. On
I
top.
would. I want to ask you a question.
And then I
I'll
have her clean the Tabasco with a napkin.
Ew.
No, but what was I gonna say?
Gross.
Oh, but we were having issues because of so I'm doing all these things, and like I would come home from work because I asked her I have 1 hour lunch break.
Okay.
Right, so I come home from work and I told her, hey, can you take the chicken out the thaw because I'm gonna cook later at the night, and I come home and she's not there and all the dishes were dirty. And I'm like, fuck, I can't put the chicken out the thaw because I have a small place, it's a small apartment.
Yeah.
It's LA. I'm like, so I wash all the dishes and then I put the chicken out. And then she comes home when I'm leaving. And I'm like, oh, I got to go. It's all good. And she's like, well, I was going to do it when I came home. And I'm like, I told her, well, you have to understand from my perspective, if I'm doing all these things for you and I ask you for one thing and it's not done, I understand that you're going to do it by your own time by the time I get home. But I'm like, you have to look at how the chicken, it's going to take hours to thaw and I want it to be ready when I come home.
Right.
You know, I don't want it to be almost ready or not even put out yet.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I do all these things for you, the least you can do is put in this type of effort, you know? And then she's like, okay, I understand. Because she's thinking, well, I'm not really staying at your place. It's like, well, are you? It's like, let's set these boundaries. You want to set these, well, you obviously are staying at my place. If you got your toothbrush at my place, you staying here, bitch.
Damn.
Right? Yo, okay, quick story. When I was in Indonesia, I remember this shit. This is how I learned this shit. Was because our drummer, I'm not going to say his name, but he was me and him were trying to see, well, it was like an unsaid competition who could fuck the most girls.
Okay.
But one of the girls, he was like one of his regulars, left a toothbrush in his place, right?
Okay.
And he found the toothbrush in the bathroom, grabbed it, and we heard all this because I was in Josh's room, which is next to his.
Okay.
And he goes, bitch, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this shit? And like got mad about the toothbrush. And he's like, you don't fucking live here? And threw it out the door. And he's like, get your shit, get the fuck out of here. And kicked her out of the room. I was like, get the fuck out. And I was like, damn, bro, that is so mean. But at the same time, I thought, you know what? If she got her toothbrush there, she living there. She's trying to move in her territory.
Dude, okay, wait. So you're telling me if I give my boyfriend a toothbrush so he can brush his teeth here, is that considered the same thing?
No.
Or if he brings it, because I gave him a toothbrush.
If you give him a toothbrush, that's cool. Because you're like, I don't want your breath to stink, you know?
Yeah,
that's
man,
cool.
I'm a...
But if he brings his toothbrush and leaves it there, it's like, well, I'm staying here, right? And it's like, bitch, fuck, what do you mean? It's like,
I know!
You paying the rent?
I'm like, dude, like, that's the only reason why I asked this
even
question.
The dog got to pay the rent.
Yeah, she sure does on my carpet in the dang living room. Oh, Max.
Max is a cutie.
Yeah, she's a little terrier. She's a terror is more like it. Hey, can I use the bathroom real quick?
Yeah, let's pause it real quick. We're going to take a quick little break. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and we're back. So we left off talking about leaving your toothbrush at your man's place or girls or whatever it may be. It's like, hey, you basically live here. But we actually started talking about some other stuff just now. And actually, your current relationship, you were just explaining. Because the thing is, I feel like when you talk about these things out loud and you start hearing how crazy the situation may be or how unappealing the situation is, you start to think, you know what, I can do better. So if you want, we can talk about your situation.
Okay.
So you were just telling me that the guy you're with, it's like, hey, he treats you right. He's there for you. He's consistent, which is good. You know, It's like he's reliable. A man is only good as his word, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he is older than you. He's basically retired, and he is making like $14 an hour. He used to be working at a nice place, making good money. As much as you, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
Won't disclose how much, but we'll just...
Yeah.
There's a lot of zeros. And then this guy is living in a trailer park and doesn't have any money saved up, and he's going to retire soon. And
I don't think he can retire now.
Right. And I'm just saying, you're saying this is a great guy, and we were just talking about what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to put up with? What potential is there? And I'm like, at that age, is there really any potential? It's like, you're pretty much set. This is what your life's going to be. And I'm like, do you want to deal with that?
Oh, you know what?
Because
I told myself not to do this. Like, I told myself.
You said you were really in love with him, by the way. You said, I met this new guy. He was great. That's what you were telling me. And then as soon as you explained the situation to me, I'm like, girl, I'm going to need you to go back and get a refund because they owe you money for this good dude.
Yeah. This, you know, there's one person in my life that.
Could you bring the mic a little closer? It seems
yeah.
like it maybe got a little lower or something.
There?
Yeah, that sounds better.
So there's one person that like I can say that he's my equal and he's one of my best friends.
Okay.
And he is like the image of what, I think that's what I want. The only thing is that I'm just not into.
How so? What is it that you want? What are you looking for? What does Nina want? Like when it comes to a man?
She wants somebody who's gonna be a man and not no fucking pussy.
Be careful, because that's a little dangerous in 2020.
No, I want. You know what? I'm gonna say it. Like men are meant to lead. They're meant to
preach.
They're meant to, in my opinion, because if you want to be a leader, then go ahead and be a leader. There's more power to you. I'm not telling you how to live your life. If you want to be, 2 girls living together, 2 boys living together, it doesn't matter. Okay? But in my opinion, a man is meant to lead. And in every relationship, you have a leader, right?
Yes.
Whether they're 2 women or 2 men, someone's leading.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't, hey, no, we're not doing this. Hey, put me in my place. That, I'm not telling you to like tell me what to do, but be a man. Hold yourself up to be a man.
Right. And then, I mean, just to add that to that, it's like your role is to help steer us in that direction too. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like have a man be a man, but just to make the women feel a little more comfortable and just say, obviously the woman's also important in the role, and making sure that behind every great man is a great woman, right?
Right.
So you need, to me, like I learned this from Patrice O'Neal. He's like, look, a woman's supposed to be your second in command, your lieutenant. And she needs to be. She like when you're like, I need you to send these troops. She's like, aye, Captain, I got this shit.
Yeah.
And when you make an order that's maybe a little fucked up, your second in command will be like, well, what if we do it like this? And then he'll be like, okay, this is how we're supposed to do it then.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm all for, I don't want to like offend people when I say that a man is supposed to lead. If your second in command has your back, like if this girl that you're seeing now,
I don't think any position is worse or less, but I think there's roles to be played.
Yeah, definitely. And if you have somebody that's willing to take the sweater off their back to give you, that's somebody good, Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong. Yes, the money thing it's to me, it's not a big issue because I'm in a position where I'm not lacking anymore. Because I lacked for years. No man to help me, no child support, no extra income, all on my own. And now that, I'm in this position where I can go to Cancun every year if I wanted to, it's amazing. Okay. So it's amazing that I can just be comfortable now to not worry about like, oh, if I'm going to have beans tonight or if I'm going to have steak. It's amazing to me, I'm in a whole nother class right now that it's scary to think that most men, especially here in this town, don't even make half of what I make.
And it's cheap to live here too.
Super cheap. I paid $180 for my house.
That's nothing.
180,000.
You can't get dick in LA with that money.
No, you're paying for that little, what's that? Skid Row. Skid Row is probably 180,000.
Yeah.
Seriously, because Skid Row's like, oh my God, I can't. But it's sad though, like the homeless.
Oh, trust me, I've driven by there. I did a music video the other day where like apparently Justin Bieber, Prince, and shit have recorded their stuff. And it's just covered in homeless people.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
in downtown LA.
I drove by. Oh, I went to my hairdresser in the morning yesterday, off of Martin Luther King way, whatever, going down East California, and I just seen a bunch of homeless at that park, just sleeping there. It was like 7 a.m. before work because guess what? Yes, we are working on Saturdays, 6 days a week because it's Christmas. It's that time. It's peak.
Yeah.
But I went to go see her early in the morning, and when I passed by that park, it's sad. Like,
I heard downtown I haven't driven by there yet because I'm just visiting right now. But I mean, I heard downtown Bakersfield's like a mess. I mean, I heard LA is giving people $100 just to drive up to Bakersfield because that's where everybody sends their homeless people is Bakersfield.
Just,
like,
not only is it dusty, but now we got all this.
In the beginning of 2019, when I started working at my dad's restaurant, I was like, Jesus Christ, there's so many homeless people, and just there were homeless encampments. There was all kinds of shit. Like I was like, Jesus Christ. But kind of just to shift off of that. Sorry if you had anything else to add with that relationship stuff.
No. That's
something I wanted to move to because we actually talked about this right before the podcast started. Was the fact that my dad owns a business, a restaurant, and right now they're closing everything down. Like LA's already only takeout. Now Bakersfield's going to be the same way, but the chief of police said here in Bakersfield said, "Oh, we're not going to enforce it. If you make a call that a restaurant is open, we won't answer it. We don't give a fuck. We're going to let these businesses run." And my dad's since the beginning has been like, "I'm leaving the restaurant open. I don't give a fuck."
Yeah.
And I mean, I have a good friend, Josh, who just posted on Instagram. His friend who's a nurse in LA, who was saying last night was the worst night they've ever had for COVID patients. Just every second was a new COVID patient coming in. They were swamped. They
in
were
LA?
Completely swamped in LA.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, hey, you guys aren't like exempt from this. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna. And hey, maybe we know people who are at that age range who came back from it perfectly fine, or people who are younger like Scout who have had it. He's actually got contaminated again, but because he had so many antibodies, he didn't get infected.
What do you mean he got it twice?
Yeah, like he was exposed to it but didn't catch it because of the antibodies he had.
So, okay. So, so then that herd immunity would probably benefit us.
Yes.
Don't you think?
100%. Yeah, but at the same time, we can't just let the whole country be open because if you can't just let everybody get herd immunity because so many people are going to get sick.
I had a customer of mine tell me last month that her brother-in-law, she told me, my brother-in-law just passed away, and her mother-in-law had just passed away a few days before her son.
You know Beto?
Yeah.
So, I mean, nobody in this podcast knows, and since that's an abbreviation for a name, fuck y'all, try to find him. But anyways, his mother-in-law has COVID, and one of her lungs failed. Like, she's in bad shape, but apparently she's recovering from it. But I mean,
long term, huh?
I mean, I don't know.
The
thing is, in Mexico, like people are like, oh yeah, like he's saying, oh yeah, they already have a vaccine in Mexico. Like they're not tripping. I'm like, there are people dying left and right in Mexico right now because of COVID.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people dying from cancer and everything else, but at the same time,
that I can't disagree with.
Shoot, I lost my train of thought right now.
But cancer, I can't get from just touching you or coughing on you.
Oh, my niece. So trip out. So my nephew lives across the street, and he lives with my ex-sister-in-law down the way over here, and she worked at the DMV. She was like the first one. They shut down the DMV because of her.
Oh shit!
Here when it first started, right?
Yeah.
And
bring your mouth a little closer to the mic, or the mic closer to your mouth.
Okay, so then she gave it to my nephew, who my nephew had mild symptoms, but gave it to my brother. And my brother he thought he was going to end up in the hospital. He was having
it affects everybody differently.
Yeah. So it's weird how it's not, it's weird. We already know this. Like we've discussed, how it affects one person to the next. But then I had my niece a couple months ago. She got it. Mm-hmm. And her boys, obviously they had to give it to her because her ex
had it.
And his girlfriend.
I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah. But he had an active case of valley fever.
Oh shit!
He was in ICU.
Yeah, valley fever's fucked up.
Here,
it's a bad one.
Here in this city's really, really bad too.
Especially here on the West Coast, especially here in Bakersfield, like people catch it a lot.
Yeah, so he had
and it doesn't ever go away.
Yeah,
for the people listening, because a lot of people on the East Coast or Midwest or other parts of the world, like valley fever does not exist.
Well,
so
they have wasn't it like Lyme disease in New York?
Well, that's from ticks. That's from ticks.
But okay, so
they have they have Lyme disease. We have valley fever. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So like me, I actually have I tested positive for valley fever years ago, and it's been dormant the whole time. Mm-hmm. I've never had one reaction towards it. Like I mean, I've gotten sick, normal cold and flu. But it's just the way how it's one person's getting it really, really bad to the next person who has like no taste.
No, yeah.
You know, and then some people got it and they're still kind of reaping the, you know, the after effects of it all.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, like, for example, Scout had every symptom except fever. So if they were to test his temperature, there would be no way of them knowing that he had COVID. So to me, the temperature is some bullshit.
Yes, well, you know, in the beginning, don't get me wrong, I am not a supporter of Trump at all. But in the beginning, I was definitely one of those people that said, "No, get your thermometer away from me. You're not my doctor," you know? But then as time went on, and then I started to like realize that people aren't going to make, they're not going to make it. They're not going to survive this. And being selfish like that, that's not the kind of person I am. I'm not selfish.
Yeah, but this was under the knowledge that you had and your own preconception of what everything at that time. But after some further understanding, you're like, hey, and that's the thing. I think whether it's COVID or anything, little side note is just the fact that, hey, we can learn. We got to be open. We got to be able to change your mind and see things for what they are.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, hey, Paris is locking down. It's like China just got yesterday. I found out China got 15 cases, and they lie about everything. So you know that shit's crazy. Like they had bodies piled up, then they were burning when COVID first started, and they said, oh yeah, we just have like 1,000 deaths. But you know, it's like this whole world is on fire in a sense, and whoever is acting like it's not is like or treating it as if this isn't a big thing is delusional, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, until it hits them at home.
Like my father, for example. You know, we were talking about how crazy it is that he won't close no matter what, won't do. He's like,
he's not
this
doing
open.
dick. He's like, I ain't shutting nothing down. I was like, wow, like that. But at the same time, how many businesses are not going to make it? That's the part where I'm like, man.
How many businesses in downtown Bakersfield that have to pay that insane rent and are covered in homeless people right now are going to be able to pay their rent?
No.
When there's no space for outdoor.
Nothing. There's nothing.
And you know what's funny? I saw San Diego was giving away $1,000 grants to every business if they were trying to expand it for the patio area.
Really?
Yeah, San Diego was. And I'm like, well, now they're closing everything up.
Yeah, even the outdoor, right? You can't even do outdoor dining, right?
Yeah. And what's funny is, did you notice that the outdoor dining was basically turning into indoor dining?
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's basically what it's becoming. Or is now. Like, I see some of these pictures of businesses in LA or New York that create these crazy outdoor environments. I'm like, that's an inside house, basically. That's
your dad right now. Didn't you see the roof? He had a roof.
Yeah, he has a roof and everything.
I was like, dude, it's like literally, it's nuts. To me.
And we're all super close together. We're not 6 feet apart.
No, there's nobody. That place was popping right now when I had some menudo because, you know, your girl was hungover.
Menudo is the best hangover here.
Yeah, for me at least because, man, I was feeling it this morning.
But yeah, nobody gives a shit. And I mean, that's just how it is here in Bakersfield. We're super conservative. So to me, you know, I was talking to a friend yesterday, actually Scout's girlfriend, who's also been on the podcast, Alicia. She was talking about, you know, and I thought this too, was they're going to close this country back down. When Joe Biden becomes president in January, he's going to be like 4 to 6 weeks, mask initiative. We're going to shut this bitch down.
Mm-hmm. And you know what?
It might be the best.
It might be, but you have too many people like your dad here in this town.
In this country.
That are, it's just, they're not for it.
Look at Florida. They're like, yo, we got Disney World open. Y'all don't even have Disneyland open?
Yeah, your girl's there, isn't she?
Yeah, she just flew out today.
So, like, okay, so like when I was in Cancun and COVID was going on, everything was 25% capacity. So, like the catamarans, you know, the sailboats.
Yeah.
Because we went to Playa de Mujeres. Isla de Mujeres, I'm sorry.
And that's for the people who don't speak Spanish, Island of Women.
Yes. All you men. No, there's not that women. There's women there, but not that kind of, you know.
The kind that you see on Nat Geo with nipples the size of their breasts.
Yes. The ones that poke you in the eye. Well, anyways, we were on the catamaran, and I'm assuming it's pretty big, right? And, you know, we're snorkeling, whatever. And there was only 15 of us on that boat. That fits 50 people. So I'm actually enjoying this trip to Cancun because it's not full capacity.
Right.
So, you know, like when you go to Magic Mountain, you got to wait like 2 hours to get on a flipping ride.
Right.
We just walked up, we went on a catamaran. We waited for the boat to dock, whatever. But we got on the catamaran. We did our snorkeling. We didn't have to wait. Like I've heard people say that they went snorkeling and they had to wait for the group, like 30 minutes for the group to go, snorkeling for like 10, 15 minutes. And then there's always that one straggler or whatever. And I was like, man, we went at a pretty good time.
Mm-hmm.
We went at a pretty good time. Luckily, Julie, awesome lady. Love that lady. Thank you, Julie, for inviting me. It was the best trip ever. But I met a girl. She had invited another group of people with us, and Sonia and we did so much stuff. We did the snorkeling. We did the Isla de Mujeres. We zip lined. It's like like everything there is amazing. Just so much to see. And for it to not be full capacity, it made it even better.
Yeah, because you don't have to wait in line. You don't have to be around people. I just enjoy myself.
The 7 zip lines that we did were back to back. Like you do the first zip line, you walk up some steps. When you get off that one, you go to the next one, and the last one was the longest one. And I've never had like that adrenaline. That's chasing.
That was chasing the dragon.
That was chasing the dragon. That's what I noticed too. I'm an adrenaline junkie. When I get
that's why you like uppers.
Crystal love meth is an upper. I love.
Which is funny, why? Because you like alcohol, and that's a depressant. But I mean, it gets a different vibe out of you. That's
yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Doesn't give you what? Mopey vibe.
But I also I noticed too, because I started with a trainer. I got me a personal trainer.
Okay.
And I was on the treadmill, and I was, she was, all right, I want you to jog for, a mile, whatever, right? And I was like, all right, or run, whatever. And she was, okay, you're not even breathing hard. A lot of people can't even, and I go, well, running feels good. I like running. Yeah. It's like, I think I do have it's
in your blood too. So.
The running, what are they?
From the
runner's high. Yeah. I get dark in the summertime. Heck yeah. I'm running from them.
I can see myself being like, yo, what's a green card?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're like, hey, actually got to be over there.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people can't run. You run though, right? Regularly?
Yeah. Oh, not so much anymore.
But you like hiking and stuff.
Yeah, they closed all the trails in LA.
Did they?
Yeah, they closed them all last week with everything, yeah. With on Tuesday, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, that's when they shut everything down. That's why I was telling my mom, like, they're going to shut everything down here too. Don't even trip.
Yeah, you know what though? Like, I've seen it though. I've seen a couple of people, and I mentioned it to you that you kind of gained some weight, which you're fine because you were really thin the last time I seen you.
Yeah, because I was just doing a lot of exercise. I was skating and running a lot.
Yeah. So I notice too when I run, I still have my shape, but I don't I start to get too thin. And that's why I'm like, no. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want I don't want to eat carbs because I'm trying to stay trim. But I'm like,
the balance.
Yeah, it's
life
tough.
is a balance.
Yeah, and when I went to Cancun, I'm gonna tell you right now, them girls with the big butts and small waists, I was like, how do I do that? And I go, well, I guess surgery is the only way to do that.
Or
Squats. Yeah, those.
Do that 30-day squat challenge.
What is that?
It's like you do 30 days of like a different amount of squats, and by the end you should have like a magical butt.
Really?
Yeah, you can look it up. I had a friend.
Guess what, Denny? I got a magical butt.
I don't know if I needed to hear that. I think we've actually been going for about an hour now. Okay. I think we can end on that note. Nina, I'd like to thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. And I'd like to thank Max for not barking and being a good girl the whole podcast.
Good girl, Max.
Right?
Oh, Maxie.
She's all heading over here. But anyways, that's been an episode of the DP Podcast. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.